Hey, how's it going, guys? For today's video, we are doing a Budget Beast episode 5. So for today's episode, we do have two new cards. We did get Omar Vizquel, and I'll show you the proof of it in just a second. We got him for 13K. I knew his price would go up. I didn't think it was going to go up that much, but again, I'll show proof that I got him for 13K, so he's easily a budget beast. Card number 2 that we did just add today, we have Pederson. Now, obviously, his fielding isn't that great. However, with the amount of power, he has good enough contact and vision. He's going to be great, especially on these lower difficulties. So just very quick run-throughs. Omar Vizquel, at least when it comes to his hitting stats, pretty solid, especially with the high vision. Of course, gold glove defender. Won't have to worry about a damn thing over at shortstop, and great speed. So because of that, we actually will probably in a second move him up in the lineup, maybe as our leadoff hitter. As I already said about Jock, of course, this is his home run derby card. He has 68 contact, 58 contact on left, 123 pop across the board, 72 vision. So on the higher difficulties, he may not be that great, but his swing is still super smooth. And yes, his fielding and speed aren't going to be great. We're just using this card for the pure raw power. And of course, as you guys already may know, we still have Hafner and Kinsler from the last episode. They're, of course, going to be great cards moving forward. So like I said, we did get Jock for just over 25K. And then Omar Vizquel, we bought him for 13.5. And of course, right now, I'll show you his price currently. If I'm not mistaken, he's around 30K. Where is he at? Yes, sir, he is 30K. So when we got him, it was basically a snipe for 13,000 stubs. Currently, we are 16-0 throughout the entirety of this series. But what we will do is this season, we're definitely striving to get to World Series. We are currently rated 534. I think, especially if I am playing this a little bit more, we should get it. Our opponent for today is TTV Breezy. He has Adam Wainwright, Ichiro, Bellinger, Gwen, Gonzalez. He has a pretty damn solid team. One thing I did forget to mention, instead of Gary Sanchez today, because he is down on inside edge, we got Yasmani Grandal hitting 8th. This will actually be the very first time I've seen this Wainwright card, and actually I have heard good things about him. And of course, just like on my main team, we are going to switch our, not our in-play view, we're going to change our PCI appearance to wedge, especially on these higher difficulties, or the lower difficulties. It makes the PCI a tad bit smaller, but also gives me a dot to focus on. Cunha swings. We didn't swing at a great pitch, but we did get our PCI down there and drive it up the middle. Got our leadoff man on, and of course, here comes the man, Pederson. Jock drives it. That is smoked into the gap. First at bat with Jock is an absolute laser. Get ourselves second and third. Jesus Christ, 37 speed. You got to hurry up a little bit, bud. Kinsler absolutely piss rockets that one right at the shortstop. No advancement of the runners. 1 out. Hafner also hits it hard. At least this time we are going to get the run in. Not necessarily sure why he decided to throw it home, but I'll take it. Chipper is going to get us another double. And of course, I did understand some of the questions why people were asking why are you using Chipper at third. It's because, yes, his defense isn't great, but I will tell you he's the best budget card I think there ever will be. Cody is also gonna get it down. Oh my god, but we're probably gonna get hosed at home with 36 speed because he didn't leave right away, but we are still safe. My whole team speed-wise is a mess, and Omar Vizquel's first at-bat is a 3-run bomb with 56 power. If Vizquel's gonna be doing that, I am looking forward to the rest of this series. Good thing I figured out that his price would probably go up because of that glitch of the 3 cards. That was an absolute tank. All right, so what is that? Yeah, 6 runs in the first. We got through our whole lineup in 1 inning. One thing that is definitely different on this account is I'm using the strike zone view for pitching. Might end up changing it, but for right now, we'll see how good it does. 0-2 count. We're going to go ahead and throw a 4-seam upstairs. Blow it by him. Strikeout number 1. Oswalt's specialty is basically that 12. Oh, boy. That's what should happen when you leave a fastball pretty much up and right over the heart of the plate. Full count. That is not a good pitch, but it gets the job done nonetheless. Strikeout number 2. Cunha, I think we might have just sliced that ball. We dipped our PCI and moved it a little too far to the left. Jock gets one right over the middle of the plate. However, we squared it up maybe just a touch too well. We didn't get underneath it. So he's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles in his debut. One thing I will say about Joc Pederson, he has one of the sweetest swings in the game. That's why I was super excited to use that juiced home run derby card. Ian Kinsler hits it 410 feet, but will that be able to at least bare minimum move over this 37 speed to third? It does. Hafner, we definitely got our PCI on top of that one, but we found a hole. It is now 7-0. Chipper gets himself another double. Like I said, now if you look at my team, especially in the middle of the lineup, their speed is absolutely terrible, but I'm relying on them to find gaps and drive it out of the park. Cody gets it through the hole, but 44 speed, that's only going to be a RBI single. Another base hit will easily score 1, and if it finds a gap, should score Cody B. And you know what? That's on me 100%. But I will say, Omar's swing is actually pretty solid. It's very short, compact, to the ball, not a late leg kick. He's going to be a good card, and if you need a good fielding shortstop, that would be, a budget beast. Even though he's 30K right now, I would even say we can at best say that's mid-tier. He's going to be a good card. Joc, show off the range and not jog to the ball. Or do that. That is common fielding at its finest. So we're going to be giving up a leadoff triple. Thank God Joc can actually smoke the ball a little bit. 1-2 the count. We're going to go in and get that slider. That should be a good pitch. Get ourselves strikeout number 3. We're going to go ahead and try and surprise him with an up and in fastball. That's going to be in a good location. Strikeout number 4. We haven't shown the super ephus curveball in a minute, but here's the ground ball to Vizquel. Does he have the gun? He, of course, does. Grandal hits it hard. We did change his luck around this time, but it will be a line out. If you like those line drive hits that maybe lead to more doubles, Yasmani is your choice as a budget catcher. But if you're into the cards with a little bit more pop, Gary Sanchez and apparently Ronald Acuna would be the 2 that should be your choice, although Acuna can't play behind the dish. Maybe if I didn't power swing, just maybe. I don't know how underneath it we were. We were definitely underneath it, but I didn't think we were that far underneath. First pitch to Griffey. We're going to go and throw that fastball up and away. He swings at it a little out of the zone. Gets us a kind of weak line out to left field. That's out number 1. That is not a good pitch, but thankfully he was out in front. So the pitch was good, or the pitch selection was good, but the way it ended up right over the heart of the plate wasn't good. That pitch as well ended up over the heart of the plate, but it stays in the yard, and actually Joc Pederson makes a play. Looks like our opponent's reading the fastball pretty well. As I say that, we did jam him with that one. I believe this is Felipe Vizquel, if I'm not mistaken, and Kinsler is gonna do a little bit of an inside out hit. Should get by Ichiro. It is only gonna be a double though, because Ichiro's got an absolute cannon. Oh my! Fastball up and away. Hafner showing how good he is to all fields. We're now up 11-0. Chipper is all over that one, but that is the one downside to Chipper. As he doesn't hit home runs, he will be a card that does line out, but usually he does find the gaps. Cody gets a fastball up in the zone as well. He drives it. It is not going to get out of here. It's going to be off the top of the wall. Got ourselves a man on second. Oh, I was honestly surprised and caught off guard by that fastball. Yasmani has had a terrible at-bat and a line out. I think he's definitely due, and as I say that, miss a fastball over the heart of the plate. 2 early strikes, and that is a bad pitch. It backed up on us, stayed flat, but what is going on with our fielders? The 2 Dodgers look absolutely lost in my outfield. What is happening? Go ahead and go with that slider. See if we get him. That strike 3 on a perfect dot. Second and third. No out jam with no runs given up. That'll be great. Joc, please. Thank you. Just show some range. I will take it. Go ahead and cut that off, Hafner. We do end up giving 1 run, but as long as we do not give up another, it's game over. He was very late on it, so we're going to go right back to it. Jam him. There's no way. There is no way. Thank you. That ends up being an out. I saw Hafner running over the ball and thought, yeah, he's getting on because nobody's covering first. But we end up getting out of it, only giving up 1 run. Still maintain the mercy. Travis Hafner was 2 for 3, a home run, 4 RBIs. Acuna 2 for 3 with a home run. Omar was 1 for 3 with an absolute bomb, and Jock was 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. Honestly, so far for these 2 cards, I have nothing but nice things to say about them. So we're not going to adjust the lineup at all. Maybe next video Omar's going to hit leadoff, and then maybe Acuna, then Jock. But at the same time, I like having Acuna as my leadoff man because he does have pop and speed, but it's something we'll revisit. I'm going to go with Mr. Coach. I have no idea how to say that, but he has a far superior team than I do, and Noah Syndergaard is probably going to get lit up this game. Oliver Perez we haven't actually seen all year. Should be interesting, especially for Jock Pederson. Let's see how good he does with lefty-lefty crime. First pitch to McCutchen. We're going to throw that hard slider, but it finds a lot of the plate. And so far, what I'm talking about is happening. Our opponent has now had 2 lineouts to left field. 2-0. We got to spot this changeup right here. Good pitch. That is a weak ground ball to Kinsler. As long as we keep it in our infield, especially the middle infield, we have really good defenders between Omar and then also Kinsler. I got to make sure to change this PCI appearance at the main menu. That way I don't have to keep doing it every game. Acuna leads us off with a hard hit single through the hole. Jock lefty. This card is so disgusting. He is 3 for 4, 2 doubles, an absolute tank with lefty crime. Like I said, he's one of those cards that even though he's 20K, I think he's going to be a budget beast just simply because of how good his swing is. You know what's crazy? Kinsler has yet to hit a home run as he gets a base hit through the hole. He's hitting a couple doubles, but he's just kind of Mr. I'm going to poke a single over here, over there. It's kind of what he does. Hafner is continuing the rally, hits it hard up the middle, first and second, no outs. Got to make sure we move the runners over and at the bare minimum avoid this double play. Chipper, that might be able. McCutchen doesn't have an amazing arm, and that is hit pretty deep. What that will do is apparently not leave the bag at a good time. The lag compensation right now, as you might have seen, especially when I was pitching, is really bad. I thought I told my runner to leave even before he caught it, but it takes a while if the lag is as bad as it is. Cody Bellinger gets us another base hit. That could have easily been an RBI. Again, assuming that the lag compensation is just something you have to keep in mind and adjust for yourself. But Omar Vizquel with another possible 3-run jack. Omar, oh man, I thought that was going to be up the middle and we were going to get ourselves another run. But on the tag, what? Change up low and away. Out on his front foot, get ourselves a weak liner to center field. Cody Bellinger this time doesn't look lost and gets the out. As long as we hit this spot with the slider, it's going to be a good pitch. But if it does that, we're going to have to get bailed out. He hits it hard on the ground. He was on top of it. I'm going to go ahead and take it because I thought we were about to give up a home run. We haven't thrown the curveball yet, and it ends up maybe surprising him a little bit. He is on top of it. That ended up being in a really good spot out of the inning. Let's go get our offense back and running. And it would appear our game has froze. I'm over here clicking start and it's not even working. I can't even move my PCI anymore. What? Just tell me I didn't get the loss. So he ended up leaving the game, I assume, just left at a weird time, so the game freaked out and lagged. And so we did end up getting the win in 44 XP because that was basically only an inning. We're going to go ahead and play one more game. So our opponent for our next game, right off the top, noticing his lineup, way better lineup than mine, and he's got Adam Wainwright on the mound, which actually is probably a really good thing for us considering we teed off of him in our first game. Usually if you just have really good pitching, you can get away with some mistakes as we throw a changeup that didn't hit our spot but still ended up in a good part of the zone. Jock out here making plays. That's something you love to see. Common fielding sometimes is just as good as Diamond. And Bellinger, our two outfielders that made ridiculous errors in the first game, are looking marvelous. 1-0, we're going to go and throw this knuckle curve just a little out of the zone, but it ends up being right in the... Oh my God, Omar, don't do it to him. Oh my... He almost did it to him, but the 62 speed was just a little too quick. You know what? That's just a good eye, or maybe he just wasn't looking for it because it did just miss. This time, Omar eats that laser one hop, throws it over the easy way to second. Get ourselves up out of the inning. Let's go get some runs. Acuna gets a base hit. Psych, just kidding. Probably got that off the end of the bat and a tad out in front. End up taking ball 4 after the repeat of the 3-2 count 3 or 4 times. Good at bat by Jock. Kinsler ends up rolling it over, but it eats up. I think he's got Arenado at third. I don't know who he has at third, but can we make him pay for not picking up that ball cleanly? Hafner on a full count gets a mistake pitch, a changeup a little bit up in the zone, drives it out. Chipper hits it hard right to Cal Ripken Jr. Like I said, he is going to be a card that does line out a little bit. 1-1, we're going to throw that changeup inside, and thankfully that got a little too far inside because he was definitely all over. But like I said, out of the zone makes him hit it weaker. Got ourselves 2 down with a runner on first, and it looks like that is not going to be good. Thankfully, that is Adam Wainwright, but does Cody Bellinger have the range? He does not. That is the downside to having Cody Bellinger in center field and Jock Pederson in right. 3-1 the count. Vizquel on deck. He ends up giving us ball 4. Omar has so far been 1 for 4 on the day after his absolute tank shot. He's been held silent. And he will continue to be not held silent, actually. His outfielder does end up missing that. We're going to go ahead and turn this into a triple and an RBI. Assuming 78 speed still has enough to get home. It does. Ricky Henderson, what should have been just a single, ends up now turning into a triple and an RBI. Yasmani pulls it through. Our opponent's going to throw it. Oh my God, I thought he was throwing it home, but he throws it to first. David Price, don't do it to him, and he lines out. All right. And will we continue hitting him hard? That is going to end up being a solo shot for Ronald Acuna Jr. What an animal. Oh my. Oh, we just out in front of that. I think that's going to be warning track power. That is exactly what it ends up being. I already know what it would have read just early. If we sat back a little bit longer, that would have been demolished. So we got a 3-run lead. If we give up 1 per inning, I'm going to be okay with that, simply because David Price, I know, isn't the greatest pitcher. He doesn't have the greatest stuff in his arsenal, especially with my opponent who has pretty much an all-righty team except for 1 batter. I will be going to the bullpen pretty early on, as he is just swinging first pitch. So if we can continue to hit these spots and make him swing at not the greatest of pitches, maybe we could get out of this with no runs. We're going to try and be a little sneaky here. We're going to try and jam Frank and leave it over the heart of the plate. And I don't know how, but I'm going to take it. He missed that fastball. We avoid any damage. Let's go get some more runs. I don't know what I'm swinging at. I'm going to go ahead and regroup after that one. Hafner gets us another single. So we do have a man on first. 1 down, 36 speed. It's going to take multiple hits to get him in. Chipper, we definitely didn't swing at the greatest of pitches. It wasn't a terrible pitch to swing at. However, it was definitely a pitch that would have induced a ground ball double play. Let's get ourselves another quick inning. And if David Price comes up in a situation where there's runners on and limited outs, I will be taking him out. And then we'll be going to our bullpen. We're going to go ahead and try and actually surprise him again with that fastball. And that is not going to do it. Found a lot of the plate, but he does jam his PCI down. Get ourselves a routine fly ball to the bronze fielding Cody Bellinger, out number 2. 3-2, we're going to throw that changeup. Ends up. That is a good piece of hitting. I am not mad. He went with that changeup the other way. That's just a good hit. David Price should be up next inning if I'm not mistaken, and we'll be taking him out. I can definitely tell, especially with how my opponent's team is stacked. He's going to be able to hit him really well just because he's got a lot of righties in there, and I just don't think he's really got an out pitch or really anything that's really deceptive. Looking to see if we can get ourselves just out of this inning, get 4 full innings from our starter, and that should do it. Cody Bellinger should have the range. He does. We still have a 1-run lead. David Price will be coming up if we do get 1 base hit. If not, say we go down 1, 2, 3, we will be using him for 1 more inning, and that could go bad. Cody, is that hit deep enough? I guess so. I thought that it died right off the bat, and honestly, Justin Upton, Considering that animation, he should have caught it. Grandal is a line out legend that, like I said, that's the one downside. He's like Chipper Jones, but I swear worse. And honestly, now you decide to show some pop, especially the other way. I'll take it. David Price's day is over. We're going to go ahead and bring out Joey Gallo. Still got a good PCI size. Let's get some big time pop. And that is absolutely shat on right to the center fielder. Cunha gets a base hit up the middle. We're in a 2-2 count. And honestly, that was a great pitch by our opponent. We were out in front, but it does find a hole. Jock is all over it, but Jesus, I don't know what kind of topspin that had. Ends up being an absolute missile. Joey Gallo and Jock had two really hard lineouts that inning. Nothing you can do about it. For the most part, has really good control. As you can see right here, throw a perfect slider, jam our opponent, out number one. Throw that slider. It's in a decent spot. Kind of found a little bit too much of the plate. However, it is hit right to our center fielder. We're going to follow up that pitch with a four-seam inside. Lock Frank Thomas up. Gonna have a routine fly ball to first base. We're out of the inning. Let's go get at least another 2 runs. Kinsler, I think, yep, that is gonna be a deep fly out. We might have been just a little underneath, especially with a power swing. Hafner is gonna find us yet again another absolute missile for a line out. Chipper is all over that one. Just keep it fair, stays fair, lands right on the line. However, 44 speed, you gotta hurry up, bud. And we end up barely sliding in safe. Cody hits it hard as well. We did get on top of it, hit it right to Frank Thomas. We didn't score that inning, but we did have some good at bats. Get that slider inside again, fool him. I feel like this time he's gonna think, oh yeah, he's gonna throw that slider again. So we're gonna throw a four-seam, freeze him, easy reads. First pitch, we're going to go change up and miss our spot right in an area we could just jam his PCI down. He does just that, hits an absolute bomb. We're still up by 2. We're going to go right back to the fastball. Honestly, get the vibe that he wasn't going to be looking for it. Read it correctly. We end up giving a really bad jammed hit. That is going to be a terrible pitch. But please make sure we get the out at first. And I don't know why he's throwing it 30 feet in the air, but he does that and ends up safe. We're going to go ahead and warm up other pitchers in our bullpen. Honestly, I am not mad at our pitcher today. He's done really well. He's gotten what we wanted, weak contact. But, you know, if it finds a hole, it finds a hole. There's nothing you can do about it. If he can finish this off and get us out of this inning, oh my God. 2 errors in the first inning by our first baseman. Come back to absolutely destroy us. He's going to go ahead and get 3 runs off of our first baseman's errors. Now, you know, Jock Pederson might be our first baseman. It is definitely frustrating. You throw an amazing pitch, the batter before that, to get yourself out of the inning, and common fielding comes back to absolutely bite you right in the buns. But we're only down by 2. As long as we avoid the lineouts, we can get some really good runs in 1 inning. Omar, please. Apparently, Frank is a soccer player. Kicks it to the other side of the field. 3-0 the count. I'm green lighting it. He's going to throw a get me over. And you know what? I'm an idiot. I honestly just gambled, and that would have been ball 4. And we end up choking massively. A leadoff double. It technically ended up being a leadoff double on a single and a stolen base. End up choking, ruining our chances. Not something you like to see. I'm going to go ahead and bring out Osuna. Hopefully our first loss on the year doesn't come just yet. We are trying to do our best to make sure we keep this in reach. Throw that cutter again. He takes. We might get ourselves out of this jam. We're going to try and throw a 2-seam, jam him, and that ends up actually not missing as bad as I thought it was about to. So we get ourselves out of the jam. No runs given up, still only down by 2. All right, 3-0, I'm not making the mistake. He seems like he might be aware that I'm going to swing. Ends up being ball 4. I'm not green lighting a 4-0 against our opponent the rest of the game. How is that good? Okay. Hafner has a lot to say about it. He ends up getting a double of his own. that is not going to score us from first base. So another base hit, hopefully we get it, or a deep flyout should get us 1 to 2 runs. Chipper, oh my God, we might need to invest in a third baseman with some pop. Chipper is finding a lot of these super deep flyouts. Cody hits it well, and unfortunately our luck still hasn't turned around a whole lot. Keep finding the outfielders' mitts, but again, at some point we still have 2 innings. We're only down by 1 run. We're gonna go ahead and stay with what's been working for us. It's that cutter. Omar come in, bare hands it. What a smooth play out, number 2. Here's a card that I am not happy to see. Alomar, every time I've used Osuna versus Alomar, he usually ends up hitting a tank. I don't know what it is, but he still hits it hard, but it finds our own second baseman. Omar does it again. Captain Clutch goes yard, ties up the game with 56 pop. Grandal gets one right through the hole, but with 9 speed, you got to hustle to first, bud, because, yeah, I knew there was going to be somebody covering that time. All right, I know Nelson Cruz technically has better stats against the righties right now. However, Edwin in BR in these modes always comes clutch, and he does it again, but that is only going to be a single, and we might get gunned at third, and that is exactly what happens. Full count to Jock. What is he going to give us? He gives us a pitch that hung on him so bad, and Jock delivers, gives us a 2-run bomb, and also gives us a 2-run lead. Kinsler actually listened to me and delivers an absolute laser over the wall. We are now up by 3. Hafner, please tell me he delivers. He ends up hitting a line out right to the right fielder, but we did get ourselves the lead back that inning. Can Fernando Rodney shut the door? 2-2. We're going to go with the 2-seam upstairs. Jam him. Cody Bellinger gets a good read this time around. Should be camped underneath it. That's out number 1. We're going to back that 2-seam up with that slider. That's going to be an absolute dot for another strikeout. We are 1 out away from completing the comeback. And Omar's going to have the range and the gun and the animations to get us that good play for out number 3. Get us the save for Fernando Rodney. And also, Omar is the player of the game. 3 for 4, a home run, 2 runs batted in. Again, with him and Jock Pederson, I have nothing but good things to say about them. The one bad thing about Jock Pederson, but it should come as no surprise, his fielding. Obviously, it is an absolute nightmare. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed today's content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys very much. Have a good day.